Caesar de Bello Gallico, Book 4, Chapter 29. As if the storm at sea was not enough, the Romans are facing a storm here at Britain. And it happened, eadem nocte, ablative place phrase, time expression, no in needed, that the moon would be, probably a result clause, full, that the moon was full, which day that was accustomed to render maritime tides, aestus, greatest in the ocean. So we're dealing with the relative adjective clause, and it, namely the problem that when a full moon you had bigger tides, was unknown to our guys. Thusly, the tide was filling at one time at both the long ships of the ships of war, in which Caesar had taken care for the army to be transported, and which he had drawn up on dry land. So the long ships were on dry land for taking care of the ships, and the tempestas, the storm, was shattering the burden-bearing ships. Now, is the burden-bearing ships which had been fastened to anchors. So therefore, his long ships that had been carried over to transport the army, and both the burden-bearing ships for supplies and also carrying the army, which had been fastened at anchors, neither was there any associated verb dabatur was given, neither was any power either of managing or of aiding was given to our men. So our men were totally clueless on what to do as the tides came up, and the ships out at anchor were being swept away and filled with water, and the ships that were on dry land were being wrecked. Cum, when the rest of the ships were being, equational phrase, useless ad navigandum, for navigating. Ablative, I see an ablative, there's your participle, ablative absolute clause, with ropes and anchors and the remaining armaments, riggings, having been lost. When that happened, a facta est, something feminine was made. What was made? A magna perturbatio, a great alarm, genitive possessive, of the whole army was made. That alarm, which was necessary. When he says necessary, it often means unavoidable, which was natural to happen. For neither were there other ships, equational phrase, by which they might be able, so therefore this is a relative clause of purpose, they'd be able to be carried back, and they were wanting everything which would be of use, another relative clause of purpose, for the refitting ships, so therefore a gerundive. And because it was standing true, it was evident to all, to be appropriate to winter in Gallia, in Gaul. And, because before they even got there, it was obvious to all that it was appropriate to winter in Gallia. As a result of that, the frumentum, the grain, the grain had been provided not in these locations, namely Britain, for the winter. So as we close this cliffhanger, we're dealing with a problem of Caesar's storm has now blocked his way home, and additionally, Caesar's storm has stopped his reinforcements, and as a result of this, his men are now in a worried situation. How will Caesar get out of it? We'll have to find out next time. Take care, true believers, and Excelsior.